Hello everyone, and welcome to another creative building video. Today I'd like to build a mountainside motel on this snowbank behind me. Now, functionally, a motel would probably be better off situated in some place lower ground, like down here. However, this is more about aesthetics than functionality, so I'm going to put it nice and high up on where there's snow. And after much revision, I finally have a solid base constructed that I like. And it is a little bit flat down here, and I've tried to mitigate that by bringing these supports down, although I'm still not 100% sure. I might change it up a little bit later, but the point is you can kind of see the total shape that this is going to make once it's finished. I'm going to be making it sort of in a little bit of a T shape, similar to the town hall off in that direction. So I'm just going to keep puttering on and seeing if I can do it. Also, I'm going to try to implement some of this nether brick into this build because I don't really use this all that much, and I'd like to try it out and see if I can make it look good. Plus it's a nice complementary color to the dark oak wood that I've been using. Well, I've been puttering around a little bit, and I think I've come up with a nice siding design that looks cool, though it is not at all practical for being in a snowy biome because these windows are massive. They're definitely not heat efficient. Although this area is probably going to be some kind of eating area, not the sleeping area, so the bedrooms hopefully will be better insulated. Also, I'm thinking of putting the entrance here, and I'm actually debating on whether or not to move this over by one block so the pillar here is more easily seen. Other than that, I've just been experimenting with the roof, and that's pretty much as far as I've gotten so far. And I have put some nether brick in the construction, if you didn't notice from that earlier shot, around the windows, although I do hope to put some more in elsewhere because it's not too visible from the outside and I want it to be a somewhat prominent feature, so there's that to work on too. Now, theoretically, this build would look pretty good with just the wood textures and the stone textures. However, I do want to experiment with the nether brick in order to add another dimension to it. Oh, this is hard to talk while I'm looking at myself. Hold on. And I encourage you to do the same, to try to find different materials that you don't normally use and use them in building. You might be surprised on how well they complement or how terribly they go with other colors. So it's just a big trial and error thing, and I guarantee you're going to be satisfied with at least something you try. I've got to be honest here, the front kind of looks like a screaming face, and once you've seen it, you can't unsee it, so I'm probably going to have to change something around here. Now it just looks like a screaming cyclops. I'm gonna have to try something else. This is a little bit frustrating. Well, it's not ideal, but at least the hallway is gonna have a nice view if I ever put that in. So, yeah, this is gonna stay. So now that this area looks a little bit less sentient, I'm going to move my attention away from it and focus more on this area, which I've been kind of procrastinating against. Now, since this area of the build has a lower roof line than the main area, it's going to require a weird roof connection since the roofs are different sizes. This one's slightly thinner than that one. This area of the building is 2 blocks wider, and they're also at different heights. This one's quite a bit lower than that one. So instead of trying to fiddle around and be miserable fitting these two chunks together, I'm going to stick a big fat chimney right here at the connection. Hopefully that'll make things a little bit easier. You know, that connection wasn't as awfully difficult as I thought it was going to be. I'm still going to build the chimney though, I'm committed. And I like the idea. The idea sounds pretty interesting. Yep, I think that fits pretty nicely. Now I'm going to work on actually finishing this side of the roof and seeing how it connects to the hill. Should be fun. I'm going to probably pile some snow up on it too. And now that the front has been mirrored, I actually don't mind the double porthole windows all that much. I actually think it looks kind of cool. Still haven't filled in the roof, but I'm about to do that. Also, you might notice that the roof has these little thingies sticking out. The logs stick out one extra block every second block, and I just did that to make it a little more interesting to look at the edges. Instead of just having a flat edge, I thought I would give it a little more detail, and I think it works. It works with this build. No practical use, but it looks good aesthetically. Now that I've extended the roof fully to cover the build, I thought I'd come in here and just clear out the mountain that was encroaching inside. And now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a floor plan just to decide where I want key rooms to be before I add detail. I think it's always good to decide where you want to build something before you go into immense detail, just in case you want to remove it later on. Then you don't have to get rid of all the detail you work so hard on. which is why I'm doing things in this order. But you knew that. Well, I have to be honest with you, I got a little bit carried away and I kind of maybe did the entire thing. So, why don't we just go on a little bit of a tour now? But first, actually, it looks a lot better in the nighttime, so I'm going to just quickly switch it to night. There we go, now we get a better lighting effect. Hopefully it shows good on video, because I'm going for it. So you come up the stairs here, you open these doors, they're supposed to be closed. You go in and you register. Now, this is sort of a medieval times hotel, so really you'd register at a bar, but we don't have a bar. But we'll get to that later. So we've got some barrels here, just a little bit of light here, so this place you can actually see inside, and some decorative banners. This is supposed to be sort of something you use to prop your tools up if you're going out briefly, I don't know, to snare a rabbit. If you don't want to pay for the food here. Although I'd pay for the food here. They have a pretty cool kitchen. This was sort of a last-minute addition, this kitchen, because I've taken advantage of the fact that this thing is half covered by the mountain and carved the kitchen into here. We've got some meat here. I used this, I saw this on a BOO video. He put some kelp on the campfire and extinguished it. So I did that here, and always store your meats below your greens. That's one big thing you gotta remember, and he didn't do that on the video, but, you know, it's just a nitpicky thing. We've got some liquor probably there, and then 2 wash basins, because, you know, it's medieval times, but that doesn't mean we don't have to be somewhat clean. Coming in here, you've got this fireplace, the obligatory dragon head, you gotta have that. It's a really deformed moose, according to my friend Harrison. And a fireplace that I'm not too fond of. It's kind of, I don't know. The campfires and the fires don't seem to go together because the fire style seems a little bit different. Now you can see this isn't moving. That's because I have the animations off to make my potato run a little bit better. This is the dining room, and I've just stepped on a plate, which shows a good glitch I wanted to talk about. You put pressure plates and item frames in the same block, and if they're birch, it actually matches the border of the item frame. However, if you step on it, it becomes permanently depressed until you replace it. Like that. And this food's been here for a long time, evidently. Haven't been doing a very good job at cleaning up. My favorite part about this, though, are the lights. What I've done here is I've put redstone torches and a few torches behind these slabs in between the floors, and put a hanging flower pot here, which is nice because flower pots can now float. I'm not sure how long this has been in the game, but they can now float, and item frames, since they can occupy 1 block, you can occupy 1 block with 4 of them. I've put them on the side here, so it's kind of like a fancy lantern-esque thingy. There's only windows on this side, so I've made this side over here some display cases. Hopefully that looks pretty cool, and this one's a little bit of an awkward window, but it's far enough off to the side that it doesn't bother me that much. Now, you might be wondering where the stairs are. It's kind of hard to see because of the dark palette, but they're right here. And you go up here, and you'll notice a huge glaring flaw with my hotel room doors. The number plate, this is supposed to be a number plate, pops off as soon as you open the door, so that's pretty fun. Now, I have several different styles of rooms in here just based on the amount of space I have, so let's start over here. These 2 up here, I'm just going to show one of the 2. These ones are a single bed, kind of a study room. So this would be probably a more expensive room, although it is quite cold because the fireplace is all the way down there. This room is the same. Pop off the number plate there. And this room, there we go, is a double bunk, and it's slightly smaller. So it's 2 people, and that's this one, that one, and this one. This one is also a double bunk. This one's probably the worst room, because it's just a bed and a cabinet, because I have literally no room because the staircase is right here. And these 2 back rooms are my, the nice warm rooms, and they have 3 beds. So a total of 17 sleeping places in this hotel, which might not seem like a lot. However, if you have to stick with meter-thick walls all around, I think it's manageable for a building this size. This room, you might have seen, it's slightly different than that one over there because it encroaches on the lobby space. So I've made it kind of like a little spy room where you can spy on the people coming into the hotel. Maybe if you're hiding from someone, you can rent this room out to make sure that no one comes after you, although there is only 1 entrance, so you might still be in a little bit of a pickle. Also, if you happen to be wondering what this fancy glowing stick in my hand is, it's a debug stick, and what it does is it allows you to basically alter the properties of blocks that might otherwise not be alterable. So, for example, I can make these fences not stick to each other, and I can make these panes. Ooh, what did I do? Oh, I messed up the roof. Alright, well, I'm leaving that be. But if you want to know more about this debug stick, then go check out one of my other videos in this series, the one where I build the factory. I go over how to obtain this and use it in detail. Anyways, that's it for this build. I think I've done enough damage for today. So yeah, I'm better end the video here because it's getting pretty long. So I hope you enjoyed, and more importantly, I hope you took some kind of inspiration away from this. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. You subscribe for more if you like, and I will see you later hopefully. Goodbye. But I don't know what I'm doing. I cannot pronounce it. But you knew that.